I recently started reading Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, and the first couple chapters are about the ego. And I noticed that when I was running my race this past weekend, whenever I would get passed by another runner in the race, I would say to myself, the ego doesn't care, the ego doesn't care. And it was so funny to hear the ego say, the ego does care, the ego does care, you have to run faster, you need to pass that person. It was like early on in the race, and I was just trying to, pace myself and not get so worked up about being passed by other people. And so yeah, it was funny that like the voice, to listen to the voices in my head, and I would say before the ego could even say anything, I would say the ego doesn't care. And then the ego would scream out, the ego does care. And it sounded like a little spoiled brat child saying, I do care, don't let me get beat by this person, I have to overtake them, I have to pass them, blah, 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 like all this stuff. And it was just cool to observe that, bring awareness to the ego and what it sounds like, and the two voices dueling in my head. And I feel like I'm going to take that practice with me into life. Like, anytime I get triggered by something, anytime I can feel the ego is about to care, I'm going to immediately stop it first and say, the ego doesn't care, the ego doesn't care. And just, like, deny. Like, I know it does care. And I know it's going to scream out that it cares. But if I first come in with my higher self, with my higher level of consciousness, which is my true self, not the ego, and say, the ego doesn't care, the ego doesn't care, and then listen to it respond, oh, I do care, I do care. It's like, once you bring the light of awareness, of consciousness to that, it's already gone, it's already lost its power. So that's just like something funny that I saw in myself, and I think I'm going to keep doing. And I think it's going to help me a lot when I encounter triggering situations that are going to bring out the worst in me, going to bring out the ego, the defensiveness, arguing, complaining, things like that are going to arise from the ego. I'm going to stop it in its tracks by denying its voice, and just bringing awareness to that.